Hello, Dr. Gravit.
How are you doing?
So, yesterday on October 16th, my community college two classes have begun. One,
That's exciting.
yes, one technology class and the other one PE. So, she actually requires all of us to exercise. It has two components. Um, cardio for 20 minutes and separately strength for 20 minutes, so 40 minutes each time we exercise.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's a good amount, but hopefully it'll be fun rather than taxing.
Yes, knowing as you know that I'm in 7 different classes right now this fall 2023. uh,
That's a lot.
it's like yes, I know it's a lot, but I'm doing this because I would like to graduate from my community college with Associate of Science this December 2023 rather than waiting until spring 24. So
Right? Yeah. Well, I hope it goes well. Hopefully they don't take up too much of your time. Yeah. Hopefully the PE class doesn't have too much homework out for that. That's great.
Yes, PE is an a peculiar class to take in a college setting because most students just take general education, major subjects like English, science, and history, but not PE. So
Right. Yeah, I definitely didn't have a PE requirement in college, but I know like that used to be something that most colleges had. That most colleges had some sort of PE requirement, but that's changed a lot recently. So it's interesting that your associate's degree still has that. But it's pretty. I mean, it's kind of nice. Like it's a little bit of a break from all the brain work, right? Like all of the intellectual thinking, you know.
Yes, everything you said is so correct. My community college actually requires at least one class in physical education or fitness. So,
Right. Yeah. 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 My mom, when my mom went to college, her like PE class was bowling, which always cracked me up because it's like not, it's like hardly PE, right?
this sounds really fun. So,
Yeah. Right.
how is your how are your things going?
Good. Good. Just trucking along, trying to get everything done. Just like you are, right? But yeah, going well, going well. Let's see. I got your email. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so I didn't know. Okay, I just saw your most recent email that you sent, like a couple of minutes ago.
Yes.
And I didn't know if you wanted to talk about like which essay you wanted to talk about today.
Oh, my email answers
We
it.
might have time to talk about both, but
My email answers it. First, we will talk about final essay since it's really for grading, and
yeah.
second, because my Turkey feminism essay has already been very top notch, as you might agree. So that's the order we will go. So I have my final essay open, and as you can see, I made the adjustments based on your advice 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Awesome. Awesome.
So.
Good deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have it open as well on my end. So awesome. Yeah, I could read through it, but I'm also happy to look at specific sections if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
There we are. Okay, cool.
Um,
Okay, good, good, good. Okay. Okay. Excuse me, sorry. This is looking really good. It seems like, yeah, you've taken care of a lot of the things that we discussed. I think the one sort of major, I guess I have two thoughts. The first is, let's see, what number of paragraph would this be? Let's see. Body paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Body paragraph 7.
mm-hmm.
That ends with the long quote
Mm-hmm.
that you've highlighted.
Mm.
This one, yeah.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, so I would say to, unpack this a little bit. Tell us, you are mentioning that social hierarchy accounts for Bamakuru's violence toward Nyasha. Benevolent sexism that sort of escalates into violence. But why do we need the sort of whole quote here? Like, what do we get from looking at the quote that we wouldn't get from just like maybe a description or something like that? Like, why include the entire quote here? What do you think?
Mm-hmm. So, rather than having this entirety, would you like me to just separate them? I mean, they are from the same page. That's why I initially included all of them rather than breaking and then giving my own interpretation and then quote and then interpretation.
Yeah, so I guess I would say, you end the paragraph with this long quote, but I think you could keep it in, but I would want you to like explain why it's necessary here. You know, like tell
Mm-hmm.
us what we get from that quote, right? Again, like as opposed to just describing the scene or something like that, right? Because it's the scene where the conflict escalates into physical violence, and it's like the one time that we see this really happen in the novel. It's like a pretty shocking scene. So like, what are we learning from that? I guess like I think after the quote, just like I think it would be useful to add some more explanation of like why this scene is important. What we're learning from it, how it sort of like escalates from what you call benevolent sexism to like actual violence, right? Like how do those two ideas connect, right? I think I just want like more explanation, like more sort of analysis of that quote, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yes, totally makes sense.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. I will work on it immediately.
Cool.
So 내일의
Okay, this is definitely looking better. Yeah, it sort of explains how, why you would include the quote, sort of like what you get from it. I like that a lot. So the only other thing that I really saw in the draft was that you need a conclusion.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, and it sort of tries to wrap it up, You like in the paper, let me go back to it really quick. You do a good job of sort of going through a lot of points, bringing in evidence, talking through it. And the last paragraph, right, that you have it feels like another body paragraph, right? So I would encourage you to write, one more paragraph after this that serves as a conclusion to sort of say, like, to reiterate your thesis, but also, talk about why it's important, right? Like, why is it important that we investigate these things, that we recognize these stereotypes, that we, try to deconstruct the binaries here. Like, why? Yeah. So, yes, I would love to see just one more paragraph at the end of the paper that does that. That sort of, reiterates the thesis and tells us why it's important.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you'll be basically ready to go.
Sorry for bringing this to your attention, but it's not because in my draft, I mean, this is the same draft. I have it open in your email as well. This one paragraph, to refute Baba Mercury's access to opportunities. This paragraph after although Zimbabwe is mostly underdeveloped. So this it stands as only 2 sentences.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is I just genuinely didn't know what else to say, so it's not a paragraph when I have 2 sentences.
Yeah, I actually think that you could just put that at the end of the previous paragraph.
Oh.
Because you're talking about, like, how, he was able to sort of have opportunities that other people didn't. That, let's see, yes, that opportunities are not available to all Zimbabweans, but right, yeah, I mean, I think it actually fits perfectly fine at the end of the previous paragraph because you're talking, because of that, right? Because you say opportunities are unavailable to all Zimbabweans, leaving Zimbabweans restricted by what the government permits. Baba Mukuru was only afforded the privilege of education because of white colonizers, right? Like, I think that those ideas actually sort of flow very well from one to the next. So I don't think you need a full separate paragraph about that because I think that idea actually relates to the previous paragraph quite well.
Mm-hmm. You're very correct. So yes, I will construct a conclusion paragraph now.
Okay, sounds good.
So the very last paragraph before conclusion was, what the audience must learn from the Zimbabwean culture is that at times parenting is at the hands of a child, ensuring that a Zimbabwean child is precocious for one's age.
Yes.
I will pull up my thesis so that I know what my thesis was. The thesis asserts that Africans are stereotyped while whites are privileged, and together these factors demonstrate that inequalities are not a matter of choice. Mm. Oh.
it going over there?
Oh, I'm doing.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. I was just checking in.
Yes. So here is my conclusion, and it's not looking great.
Let's see. Okay. Okay, cool. So I would just say, like try to add something about like, again, why it's kind of why like it's important to recognize these things. Like, I like the first sentence a lot. I think that makes a lot of sense. You also you talk a lot about gender in the paper, so I might mention, I might talk a little bit about gender, in the conclusion, just because it's such a big part of your paper. Yeah, and like, I mean, it could be something as simple as like, it's important to recognize that. Let's see. You kind of say that. Let's see, because taking initiative is addiction to those with resources. That's really good. I like that. Like, I don't know, it's important to recognize that, like, how these stereotypes and lack of resources impact individual lives, and, nervous conditions, maybe, like, bringing back the novel a little bit, like, nervous conditions does a good job at trying to break down those stereotypes, or, like, deconstructing those binaries a little bit, or something like that, Yeah, just to bring it back to the novel. Those are my thoughts.
Yes. Listener, which
So, so you're saying like I think the novel is sort of showing us how harmful these stereotypes are, right? You know, like you're saying, like failure to like gender type children is like perceived as a sin, like especially like for Baumukuru, right, or like a number of other characters, but like Tambu sort of is trying to reject that, right? Like I think it seems like a lot of what you're saying in the paper and what the novel is doing is trying to reject those stereotypes, like actively trying to say like these are harmful, right? Because like you're pointing out sort of how harmful they are in the paper, and I think the novel is trying to get that across to the reader as well. So I might, yeah. Because like the way the sentence is written now makes it seem like Nervous Conditions as a novel like is trying to uphold these stereotypes, like is trying to say that they're a good thing, but I think that it's not, right? Like I think that it's sort of calling them out. Don't you think?
Yes, you're very correct. I will rephrase.
Okay, yeah.
the audience.
I mean, yeah, what do you think? The audience can, I don't know, think about them in their own lives, sort of realize the audience can realize the discrimination that these people face, maybe the hardships that like are sort of placed in front of them. I don't know, so that they, or like maybe they realize the ways that they stereotype other people without thinking about it. I don't know. There's a lot that you could realize from this novel. I mean, what would you say? Like, what did you sort of think about? Like, what does this make you think about, I guess? Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, okay, that's a nice call to action. Just take out the word realize, the second realize in that sentence.
Oh.
There we go, yeah. Good deal. Yeah, that looks good. I think you could probably end it there because it's like a call to action, right?
Oh.
Which is a good like concluding strategy.
The only sentence I was just about to write at the very end was that even well-adjusted, I mean, socially visible women it's just because they exist doesn't equate to full gender equality, because most, I mean, not most, but conservative republic, I'm just making an example, so conservative republican white American women themselves think that we have achieved full gender equality.
Right. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely add that if you'd like. That's, I mean, I agree, like, even, you know, yeah, you can sort of connect it to that last sentence by saying, like, yeah, like what you were saying, like, even, I mean, it seems like the gist of what you're saying is that, like, even, like, white women in developed countries like the U.S. have something to learn from this, right? About, like, how far, like, equality needs to go. Yeah, I like that. Awesome. Okay, I have another meeting in 5 minutes.
Yes.
So I probably need to head out, but I can look at the honors essay and try to answer your questions, right? Because you said my own critique is the men interject paragraph is too short, whereas the farm back paragraph is too long. So I can look at that and try to give you some feedback remotely, and then if we have time, we can meet again at the end of the week. But if you don't, if you're too busy with your other classes, that's fine. Yeah, does that sound okay?
Yes. Actually, you don't have to give direct critic over the emails, because I, as you might as you might be able to tell, I will always make time for you. So this week I will meet at least once more. So what day or time are you open?
Let me look at my meeting schedule here. I can meet on Thursday at 11 if that works.
Yes, just like any other days, you're open at 11 on Thursdays. So I figured that pattern out by now. Yes, I will come on Thursday. We can discuss that with Turkey feminism essay, and as well as if I have not already taken by then, we can go over. Prepare for quiz 3, because my update for you is I already took quiz 1 and quiz 2 for nervous conditions.
Good deal. Good deal.
My another update for you is in my world history class, I just found out just an hour ago that I got a 100 on my second midterm.
Nice. That's excellent news.
Thank you so much.
Excellent news.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you have a great week.
Yes, happy news. Thank you, and have a sweet meeting. Thursday at 11. Yes.
Thursday.
Yes, I'm coming.
Okay.